everyone, welcome back to my channel Elucidate, and today we are going to cover one of the most important and one of the most trickiest question that is being asked when you are trying to give an interview for your Selenium with Java or in your automation interview wherever this Java involvement is required with Selenium, right? So this is the question that is being asked most of the times and people tend to get confused. So this question was even asked to me at some point of time that the question, the way it was asked, that why are we writing this takes a screenshot within parentheses, what this driver is all about, what is this takes a screenshot. Although I was able to tell the code of how to take a screenshot, but I was not sure how to describe this particular line. Each and every word makes us a sense, that too in a very deep dive manner. So we are going to cover all the aspects of whatever it is written over here. So it is not only with the takes a screenshot, this is the same issue is with with the JavaScript executor as well, right? So what are these terms? We are going to literally cover them very quickly, and I'll try to wrap them up slowly and as fast as I can, right? So that your time is not much wasted, and you're able to understand the concept first, right? So first you have to try to guys understand this particular diagram. It will make everything clear onto your mind, right? So what are these things in the top three? So WebDriver, takes a screenshot, and JavaScript executor. All these three things are simply an interface, right? And what is an interface? These interfaces are simply containing the abstract methods, and those abstract methods are unimplemented, right? So guys, I have given a very deep dive lecture on lecture 3.2. You can visit to my channel, a playlist of Java, lecture 3.2. You guys can visit. I have given a very detailed lecture on what abstraction is all about, what is data abstraction, what it means, right? So these are your interfaces, and in interface, what happens? Interface is different from abstract classes. Your abstract class may contain those methods which are implemented as well, and it may also contain those methods which are not implemented, but an interface will mostly take your methods that are of type abstract, right? Abstract, and abstract class may contain both abstract and non-abstract kind of stuff, right? So not going on too deep onto that, we'll try to restrict over here. So these are the three interfaces as of now, right? Which means that they have some of the methods which they want someone else to implement them, right? So this takes screenshot is an interface. WebDriver is also an interface, right? They have got different types of methods, and they want all these methods to be implemented by someone else, right? So what is happening over here? This is a class. This is a class, right? Let me just write it down over here so that you guys are not confusing. So remote WebDriver is just a class, right? And you know what it has done? It has tried to implement all the unimplemented methods of all these three interfaces. So this single class is containing, let's say in my normal layman language, let's say, not talking about very technical, just to talk with friends. So in that particular language, let's say there are five methods over here, seven methods over here, 10 methods that are unimplemented onto all these interfaces. So this remote WebDriver class, what it has done, that it has simply implemented all the unimplemented methods, right? So let's say there were five. So let's say so 15 unimplemented methods have been taken well care of onto this particular class, right? And now there are some subclasses, you can say, like Chrome driver, Firefox driver, or Safari driver, right? And these classes are extending this particular class. Extending means what all the methods which this parent class is having, they would be also having, or they would be also having access of all these methods, all the methods that it has implemented for JavaScript executor, all the methods that it has implemented for takes screenshot interface, all the methods which remote WebDriver class has implemented for WebDriver interface. These classes are extending this particular one single class, which means that all those methods are present over here as well, right? So Firefox driver is also containing all the unimplemented methods of take screenshot, JavaScript executor, and WebDriver, right? And the same goes with the Safari as well. I hope I have made some sense over here, right? So those who are not able to understand it in a very technical manner, let's try to understand it with the help of a non-technical example, right? So let's say this is a small The same diagram I've tried to compile it over here. I've tried to create it over here. So let's say this is the one of the world's biggest company. Let's say I've taken example of, let's say, Tata over here, right? So let's say these are the two companies, Tata and Tata Consultancy Services, Tata and TCS, right? So what is happening over here is that, let's say they have different business like car, steel, iron, manufacturing, right? And the TCS works in IT, so IT software and service, provides services to all its clients, right? So they do have some of their business which they want someone else to run, right? They do not have time. Let's say Tata has 10 different more business upcoming, right? So Tata wants that my company should be able to, that is my company, which is a class, should be able to run all those businesses of Tata and TCS as well, right? And my company, since I am also a very very large company, there are some smaller companies like company 1, company 2, company 3, which are further extending my capabilities, right? Let's say I am going to take care of 50 subdivisions of Tata and 50 subdivisions of TCS. Let's say there are 100 division I have. In order to take care of all the 100 business, 30 is being taken care by this company, 30, 30, 30, right? So this is how these companies are extending over here, right? I hope I am making some sense so that you guys are able to understand what it means, right? So over here, if we go back to this particular diagram, which is original authentic diagram, whenever we create an object, let's say WebDriver driver equals to new Chrome driver, right? So it means that Chrome driver has, got all the, implemented methods, right? And we are trying to store it in a driver variable of type WebDriver. Okay. In the same way, this take screenshot has got some unimplemented methods, and those unimplemented methods have been, implemented by remote WebDriver, which means that all those methods are also with Chrome driver. So please try to understand over here what is going to happen. This is the code of, how to take a screenshot, right? Let's say I am creating an object of, let's say, Chrome type of variable. Let's say I'm creating such a big name so that you are able to understand, or let's say WebDriver type of, sorry, right? So what I'm doing is that I'm trying to create an object of Chrome, and I'm trying to, store it in a variable which is of type WebDriver over here. I hope I have made some sense, right? I'm creating an object of this Chrome driver, but I'm storing it in a variable of type WebDriver, right? This is what it means. I can do the same thing as well. Instead of storing it into variable of WebDriver, why not store it in its own particular way? So I can also write it like Chrome driver. Instead of web, it should be Chrome driver type of variable, right? I'm creating an object of this particular class itself, right? And I'm storing it into a variable or reference variable of Chrome driver class as well, right? I'm not trying to store it reference variable of some other interface. I'm just storing it into reference variable of this particular class. Please pay attention. Please try to understand very carefully over here, right? So it means that this variable is going to contain all the methods that have been implemented by remote WebDriver. Again, I'm going to navigate back to this diagram. It is containing all the methods of this particular class plus some own extra functionality, because Chrome is a different company, right? It belongs to, let's say, Google, right? Firefox is a different company. It belongs to another organization. Safari, everybody knows it belongs to, let's say, Apple kind of stuff, right? So these are these three different companies, which are further extending it and providing their own set of features so that their Chrome browser works in an best and every possible way. It works to the best of its abilities, right? The same thing Apple driver, in if you go for a Mac, or there you will be able to find this particular Safari browser, right? So they have given some extra features with respect to their OS and everything and all, right? So these are different companies, but all these are having, they are having all the methods that have been unimplemented. They were implemented by remote WebDriver, and Since they are extending, so they are also having all the unimplemented methods of takes screenshot interface, right? So let me show you something over here. I have copied it down, this reference variable, right? With this reference variable, I should be able to, able to call this method, right? See, I am able to access it, right? But if I am only using Chrome driver, still I'm able to access it. If let's say if I try to delete this particular line, okay, then typecasting is would not be required. See over here, it says there is an error that is coming. If I just do this particular stuff, right? Just do this particular stuff, right? So over here, what is happening? If I am creating an object of Chrome driver and storing it in a variable which is of type WebDriver, see it is giving me an error over here. What it is saying that it cannot convert from WebDriver to takes a screenshot, right? So over here, typecasting would be required. But what if I do this particular stuff, right? Chrome type of web variable. So the Chrome already has got, right? I just showed you guys that with the help of this particular variable, I am able to call this function get output kind of what is the name? Get screenshot, right? See, this is available. So if I only create an object, let's say those who are getting confused in understanding what this reference variable is all about. Let's say if I only create an object of Chrome type, right? Then nothing is required. Typecasting is not required over here, right? But we do not only deal with only one browser. If I write this, then with the help of this variable, I would be able to invoke all the methods of only Chrome driver. But when we are doing testing, we are executing 50 test cases on Chrome, we are executing 50 test cases on Firefox, and our application is built on for supporting a Mac as well. So we are executing 50 test cases on Safari driver as well, right? So this is the reason why guys, some sort of typecasting would be required over here, right? If again I'm reiterating, if a Chrome type of object you create and you type of the variable that you store in it is of Chrome driver type of variable, no typecasting is required, right? But since we do not deal with only one browser, we deal with multiple browser. This is the reason, guys, if now I copy it down, or and I just paste it over here, it will start with me it will start giving me error. And why it will be start giving me error? Because see, what I'm doing over here is that I am passing this WebDriver type of variable over here, right? See, my Chrome driver type of variable was having this function that get screenshot as. So there was no error over here. Okay. Why? Because Chrome driver was implementing remote WebDriver and remote WebDriver has implemented take a screenshot. But since we are dealing with WebDriver type of variable, see, it is written over here. It is WebDriver type of variable. So WebDriver has never implemented take screenshot, right? This is the reason we have to convert this WebDriver type of driver into takes a screenshot kind of variable or that kind of stuff, right? Please try to understand again over here. This is the reason I have written over here like this. This is the class name, let's say interface like Tata object equal to new company, right? Why I am creating a variable of this particular Tata. Let's say this is the parent company, because this particular variable is going to provide, let's say, salary of different organization, let's say company 1, company 2, company 3, right? But if we write like company 1 object equal to new company 1, that it won't be serving the purpose, right? So this is the reason, if we make use of WebDriver type of variable, it is not going to serve the purpose, because WebDriver has never ever implemented takes a screenshot, right? My company is implementing all the functionalities and functions of both Tata and TCS, but Tata is not implementing any functionality of TCS. It has to go through via my company and my company, right? So I hope I'm making some sense over here, guys, right? So this is the reason it is going to give me an error that it cannot convert from WebDriver to take the screenshot. So now you have to typecast it, right? So in order to typecast it, sorry, you just have to pass the name of the interface over here. Everything will be taken well care of from now onward. There would be no errors. See, all the errors have gone. And with this type of variable, you can make use of either Chrome driver, either Firefox driver, either Safari driver, any driver you can make use of. So guys, this is the reason why we are going to, or when why we try to typecast this particular variable into this particular form, right? Okay, so this is the reason why we are trying to typecast is because of the same reason, guys. We are since we are not working with only one single browser, because every time, let's say I have to run it onto Firefox driver, again I have to comment this particular line, or I have to uncomment this particular line. Let's say I have to work with Safari driver, again all the code for Chrome and Firefox have to be commented. If by mistake any part or line is, let's say, not commented, then 50 test cases will start getting executed automatically on their own if I'm making use of Jenkins or any other thing, let's say, right? So this is the reason why, guys, this type of we are not only dealing with Chrome driver equal to new Chrome driver. We normally write it in the fashion like web driver equal to new Chrome driver, right? Because of the simple fact that we are not only dealing with only one browser. We are not dealing with browser of one company. We are dealing with browser of multiple companies, because our application is built for each and every person living on the planet Earth, right? And they may use any kind of browser. It's not that they should be only using Chrome driver. They would be using iDriver, they would be using Firefox, Safari, Opera. They can make use of any other browser they want, right? So this is why, just to create for a general kind of purpose, we make use we create a WebDriver of type driver, and the Chrome driver object is stored in a reference variable which is of type WebDriver. Since we are dealing with multiple uh, entities over here, or multiple browsers, if there would have been only one browser till date in the entire universe, this question would have never have arisen, right? So this question would have never arisen, because we have simply written Chrome driver equal to new Chrome driver over here. And this part, as I shown you guys earlier, this part was not have been even required, right? So this is what it is all about. It is a very simple concept. It may take time in order to explain it to someone else, but it is really that pretty simple, right? So I hope I have made some sense, guys. If still you are not able to understand, I'll try to make use of some another example by which you are guys are able to understand. Please let me know in the comment section. And thank you for your time, and thank you for your patience. Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys.